What's good? It's your boy Slim Trader back at it again with another weekend Slimmple analysis. Last week we ended wondering how the US dollar was going to fare out, if it was going to be strong. And after Fed talk with Jerome Powell and NFP happening, we got our answer that the dollar's still going strong. We'll look at the dollar index, and try to see what it may do this week. But last week it left a print showing that it's around and it's ready to can possibly continue its bullish run. Some stocks were at all-time highs last week, so it's kind of interesting to see the strength of the dollar strengthening as well as the stocks showing all-time highs. So let's get to it. We have my favorite pair first, USDJPY. And with USDJPY, it ended definitely in this um, bullish momentum candle that engulfs pretty much all the red candles that was in this whole consolidation range. So kind of gives you the inclination that it's ready to move on up to the road to 150, as always stated. We ended last week here on this little mini trend line, and I said if price couldn't get above the red bar and trade below this little mini trend line, then price would hit 160. And lo and behold, after it kind of hesitated a little bit, it finally hit 160 and then instantly shot back up. So now we are having the moving average crossing over on the 4 hour, and we can possibly see a quick retest somewhere within this red bar, somewhere within this red bar, if not where it's at right now, and then continue to 150, 150, 250 area. So definitely looking forward to that. Uh, Price on the daily, it like I said, we had the morning star, but it kind of like closed right at the top of the red bar, so it didn't quite break it. So we could possibly see a slight little pullback and then the launch to 150. Like I said, I don't really trade on Sunday, so if price decides to go ahead and take off today, because today is Sunday. If price decides to go ahead and take off, then it is what it is. But if I could see some type of pullback, little slight pullback, little slight work, then I would love that. I would love to try to get on that. It's still not safe though, to be honest. Just because it didn't break above this red bar, I know it kind of did slightly, but the zone may be off just a little bit. So it's we're gonna see what it wants to do. I would love to see price come down, possibly almost like 50, 60 pips down to the bottom of this red, and then pull up. That would be a great entry for trade, but if it doesn't, I may miss it. But I'll be looking at price to see what it does if it wants to drop down into this red bar area. We have this midline and we have the lower line to look at and see what it wants to do. But USDJPY bullish. Well, I think it will hit 150 this week. But the question is, what will it do after that? That's the question. We will see. So that's USD JPY. Next that we have is GBP USD. And as I stated, I wasn't going to touch it because it's been consolidating between this 127,600 and 126,275 area. And I was saying until it broke between one of those two is when I would probably look at some trades for GU. However, GU did this crazy this past Friday, crazy momentum bearish candle to the downside, and it kind of gives me an idea of what it may be doing here this coming week. I had a bullish sentiment of it getting to 128,500, but it's always been having trouble passing this gray bar. It's just been tapping in and headed back down, tapping and head back down. Now we have this big bearish momentum candle. I also stated that if it wants to go down, price probably get to 125, which is a major psychological level. It looks like that we'll be seeing something of that nature. We can see price pretty much make this move. I would like to see it come back up, retest this area, and then head on down. Let me extend my my bar. Okay, there we go. All right, so I like to see it come back, retest somewhere of the blue bar, and then head down to 125. That would be ideal for me. What is price going to do at 120 from 125 is that's the question, but definitely switching my sentiment of bearish from bullish to bearish on GU until I see something better otherwise, because this big momentum candle, these bearish candles, if it keeps with the long red bars to the downside, we could possibly see price break this major psychological level of 125 and head even lower to possibly 123,500 to the red bar. We'll see though, but it's levels to it. Just take it one slice of pie at a time. Right now, be gunning for 125. Even though we're still in between the orange and the gray bar, I just feel like this move was enough to kind of like show its hands. It's still not. It still doesn't mean that it's gonna go down. It could still easily go back up. But I just look like last week when I had the candlesticks, we were looking at price having a hard time getting above the moving average, having a hard time getting above the orange. And we could see Friday, it kind of like peaked on it and then shot straight down. It just lets me know that I think that's where we're going to see, this is where we're going to start seeing the drop for GU. And this bearish candle definitely engulfs all this move engulf. I know we've seen a lot of bearish movement. We've seen more bearish movements within this consolidation range than we had bullish. But this move right here, I just felt like that was the signal to say, hey, we're ready to go down. We've already passed this kind of like trend line too. And I think like that kind of gives me that inclination of us possibly going down. And as far as down, could be down to this red bar, but for right now, 125 is what I'm looking at for GU. Sorry, 128.5, we couldn't make it happen, but hey, it is what it is. We have this nice little consolidation, and it just lets me know that we just don't have enough buyers at the moment. So 125 GU. So let's get to GBP JPY. GBP JPY pretty much broke below the blue bar, and then we had hit almost this gray bar, and then we're heading back up. We have a nice little morning star candlestick formation going on. We still have the blue over the red on the moving average, so we can still see price getting to 190 possibly. I just want to see what price on a lower time frame wants to do once it gets above the blue bar. Are we going to like I want to see price probably end up coming up to here, and I want to see what it does when it tries to make a footing on this blue bar. Is it going to stay as a support, or are we going to fall back down, make a double bottom, and see what it wants to do from this support? Because it seems like this support may be the stronger one of the two. This one, we still like this blue bar, we haven't established any type of strong support on it yet. So it's almost like ice, thin ice. Like you put your foot on it, is it going to be solid enough for us to start making buyers um, off of it? So you can easily see price head back down and then try again from down here, or maybe the midpoint of between this gray bar and this blue bar, and then start shooting up. That's probably more ideal what's going to happen, because I just don't see Sunday starting off crazy bullish and just breaking all this to 190. Like something's got to give. So if today price wants to start off like bullish, I don't see it passing here. It has to come back and retest this. Now, if it wants to stay and make this a solid support, then I can see it jumping up to 190. But if it can't, if it comes up here or something and it can't make support, we can see price drop down at least between this midpoint. I could make a midpoint. I know we got a lot of lines, but it all makes sense at the end of the day. It's kind of like where you can find your entry. So we can put a line right here. We can see price possibly bouncing off this blue and then heading on up, making that 90. And if we want, it just depends on, we can't really put a fib on it now, but if we were to, let's say price decided to retrace from right here, we have the high, and this is right at the 61.8 level. If price wants to get up to this level and then retrace, it doesn't really, I mean, between 61.8 and 78.6, but remains to be seen. I want to see some type of slight pullback first before take a buy on GJ. But that is my sentiment on GJ. Let me go ahead and erase that. Next, we are going to look at GBP AUD. GBP AUD, last week I wanted price to retrace down to this gray bar to the 61.8, and we missed it. It just pretty much made support on the 50 and then decided to move up and make a new high. 195 still the TP or still the target point for GBP AUD. I wish it would have came back down here because I kind of missed it, and I was wondering if I had a buy limit here. Just missed it. It's fine. It happens. It's cool. But we'll catch the next. I'll catch the next one. I don't know if y'all caught it, but so right now we've passed this whole consolidation range, right? This is ugly. I didn't mean to do that. We passed this whole consolidation range, and now we're trading above, and we kind of retest back in it, and now we're shooting back up. 195 definitely I can see for GA. From there, what we may have, I'm not sure, but I kind of think that GBP AUD is gonna make a new high. I think we're gonna pass. I think we're gonna get to 2. We're gonna get to 2, I believe. That's what it looks like. Yeah. So that's my sentiment on GBP AUD. I don't see any type of resistance in the near future. I think 195 is definitely going to happen. Okay, so now let's get to the dollar. The dollar, like I said, it kind of made its little bullish run. Ended with this daily candle bullish engulfing in the middle of nowhere. I guess if you want to, maybe the midline between here and here, I guess. So because price made this nice bullish engulfing candle, it lets me know that buyers pretty much use this as a launch pad. So I have to put this midline here because something's there. This is an important area. Actually, let me put a longer line because I want to see what price was doing in the past around this area. I mean, it kind of acted as a it kind of was respected some way, some shape or form. If you look at the moving average, if you hide this and look at the moving average, you can see just right there pretty much how, and this is like the midpoint of this consolidation. So yeah, this is definitely a a line to actually put on and see what price wants to do. But anyway, so we have this first hit, we have the second hit of the trend line. I did move the trend line because it was, I think, initially right here, but since we have this nice bullish candle, that's point number 2. Now the question is, can we get a third bounce for it to be a valid trend line? That is going to be interesting because now we're hitting a key level of for the dollar index, and we have this downtrend going on. I just don't know if we have enough momentum or strength to pass both of these path of resistance. I'm always about least path of resistance. And up here is where it's going to get tricky. We could start seeing, I mean, the dollar could possibly still move up, but I think we're going to start seeing some weakness of the dollar here soon. Especially if it gets to the 105 area, then I'll start looking for it to head down the other way. If that's the case, we could take this fib from the swing high to the low, and we have the 61.8 right here at the midline, and we have the 27 extension right at 99. That just seems so perfect and good. I love when I see things like that because it just lets me know that the probability of it happening possibly higher than it going the other way. So that's what I'll be looking at. Looks like the dollar may be running out of gas here, even though we had this nice bullish momentum candle that engulfed like several candles beforehand. So we'll see. We'll see. But still strong on the dollar, still bullish on it. It's just a matter of what will price do once we're here in this area, this red zone. What is it going to do? And then if it wants to play around here, we have this trend line, we have this resistance, we have this downtrend. Like something's going to happen. There's going to be a move. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a big move, either to the downside or to the upside. This is looking like a counter trend line anyway. So looks like we might have a move down, but we'll see. We'll see. Looking forward to seeing what the index has in store for us this week. But so my sentiment is price getting up here possibly between in this red zone and then dropping off. But will it happen this week? Maybe, maybe not. Next we have Euro JPY. Euro JPY, I believe we stopped around here last week, and I thought it was going to continue its bullish run, but it dropped down below the trend line, and now it's trading below this orange bar, this key level. So even though we got the crossing of the moving average, if we can get above here and close on the 4-hour, then we could possibly see price getting to where I initially wanted to at 163. But unless we can't, then I don't know. Is my trend line incorrect? Because I could see price. Let me do this. This may be a little bit better trend line for what I want. That takes care of both. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have this trend line going on. We have several bounces, so we definitely have this as a valid trend. We had this counter trend, which we possibly can be breaking this week, or we could be heading back down. But if we head back down, it looks like we'd probably be making like a double bottom or a lower high on the trend line and then bouncing back up. I think that's what we're probably going to see with Euro JPY. So we might see a slight retracement, slight pullback, and then down, or we could just see. I'm bullish. Oh, I'm bullish either way on Euro JPY. That's just me. I'm bullish, so I feel like it's just a matter of where price wants to move up. So if we look on the hourly, I think until we start trading above the midpoint of this orange bar, that's when we probably start seeing that bullish movement. But until then, we can't break this. We still can't even break this. Look, the hourly couldn't break it, drop down. Now, I think this could be enough, but if not, we can always drop back down, get some more buyers off this trend line, and then break this counter trend and call it a day. But I'll be looking at Euro JPY, still bullish on it. It just happened to take a deeper fall last week than I anticipated. Next, we have AUD USD, one of the newer pairs that I have brought in. And as you can see, since the dollar's been so strong, I was saying that this constant buyer exhaustion, these wicks, was indicating that price was wanting to go down. Didn't know I had 30 seconds left, but Price definitely getting down to this black line. We have this crazy bearish momentum. If we possibly could see 64 at that, but definitely still bearish on AU. And remember the DXY, how it may be weakening. So we could see a push up from around this area for AU, but that's remained to be seen.